Hello, boys and girls. So today for social studies, we're starting a new unit, community economics. We're going to be learning about needs, wants, and scarcity. Before we begin, let's go through some vocabulary words that we're going to be learning about today. Needs. So needs are things that we must have to live. For example, food and water and shelter. Those are things that we need to have. Wants are things that we would like to have, but that we don't need to live, that we can live without. For example, ice cream or a new bike. Next word is scarce. Scarce means a very small amount. Scarcity is a word that comes from the word scarce, and that means that there isn't a lot of something or something isn't always available. So you have one thing and then lots of people reaching for that one thing. There isn't enough to go around to everyone who wants it. Next word is goods. These are items that you can touch and hold. For example, like a book or a toy. And then there's services. So it's an action or a job that someone gets paid to do for you. For example, like a waitress at a restaurant or an ice cream server. Our focus question for today is, how does scarcity affect decision making? So families and communities, and we learned about communities in our last lesson, right? We make choices about wants, needs, and different scarce resources, right? Resources that aren't always available. People must make decisions about how they are spending and saving their money. So let's look at our teaching point. Students learn how scarcity affects decision-making by making choices when resources are limited. So again, scarcity is when there's not enough of something to satisfy everyone's needs and wants. So when goods, remember, goods are things that you can hold, like a toy or a book, or services become scarce, right? Remember, services are like jobs that people do for you. When these things become scarce, meaning that there's not a lot of them, we have to make choices, right? And sometimes if these goods or services become scarce, it makes us make a different choice. So people may have to choose some things and give up other things. When we're making these choices, we really need to think about what we really want, what's most important to us, because our choice may change because of the scarcity. So another example of something being scarce, right? If you think about, for example, watermelon. If watermelon isn't in season, right? We see watermelon a lot in like the hot months and like summer. And if it's out of season, it might be hard to find, right? Because so many people may want watermelon, but because it's out of season, it becomes scarce because there's very limited amount. Okay, so now let's look at an example to see how scarcity can affect our decisions. So let's look at this picture, right? So let's think about this scenario. A new ice cream shop just opened. Everyone wants to go, but the line is really long and the wait is over 2 hours in order for you to get up to get ice cream. So there are lots of other places that offer this service, right, which is ice cream, someone serving you ice cream, but this one is the best. So this service is in high demand. So it's making it hard to find or scarce, meaning, right, you have to make a choice. You can either choose to wait online or you can choose to go find the same service, right, ice cream, somewhere else. So you have to think to yourself, what will you do? Will I stay and wait online for hours just to get this ice cream? Or am I just going to go to a different ice cream shop and get ice cream in a different place? But knowing that this ice cream shop, it's new and they might run out because it's in such high demand and they might not have any more of the great ice cream. So I need to make a choice. So my response would be, I would choose to wait online for 2 hours to get the ice cream because I know that this ice cream is the best, right? Another reason I will wait online is because if I don't get the ice cream now, I know that they're going to run out and I may not be able to get it again for a really long time, right? So I chose to wait online. Yes, I might lose. So what I'm giving up is time because I'm going to lose hours waiting online for ice cream when in those hours I could be doing different things. But what's more important to me is to get this ice cream now because I definitely want to try it and I don't want them to run out and possibly not be able to get any. So that was my choice, right? I had to make a choice because this service is scarce. So what you guys are going to do, right, here's your scenario. So you have your own money to spend and you go to a toy store. You have to choose between two toys. One toy is expensive, right? It costs a lot of money. And the other toy doesn't cost that much money. So you have to make a choice. If you choose to buy the cheaper toy, you will have money left over and you can buy something else like candy or anything else you would like. But you have to think there are only 3 of the expensive toys left in this store and no other store is selling that toy because they are scarce and they're running out. So you have to make a choice. Like, what do you do? Do you want to buy the expensive toy because they're scarce and you're afraid you won't be able to get it again at a later time? Or will you choose to buy the cheaper toy so that you have more money left over and you can buy something else and not just the toy? So what would you choose to do? Will you buy the expensive toy or the cheaper toy and why? So you're going to get out a piece of paper or your notebook and you're going to write down these questions, right? What would you choose to do? Will you buy the expensive toy or the cheaper toy and why? And then you're going to answer that question. And here is an example of how you can write your response. I would choose to, and then say your choice. Because, right, give a reason. Make sure you give a reason. Why are you making that choice? And give another reason. Another reason is, and then state your second reason. So make sure you give 2 reasons for your choice. Okay, make sure after you do this, take a picture and upload your picture to your social studies folder on Class Dojo. Have a great day.